Hello there. I'm Scotty, and you're not. And hold on. Continuing the Sequel-A-Thon, we are on Sleepaway Camp 2. Unhappy campers. And so the story with this is that back when I watched the original Sleepaway Camp, it was on Tubi, and they had the other two sequels, the other two available ones, Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. Because for Return, Sleepaway Camp is really hard to find, I guess. But unless you can get like a DVD or something. But so I watched the first one, and after the twist ending, you know the twist ending. Spoiler alert for the first movie, you haven't seen it. Angela's a dude, basically. It's actually Peter. And so after that twist, I'm like, I'm ready for the second one. So I put it in, and yeah, I watched it. And it's just a generic slasher. It's a slasher comedy. It's a horror comedy slasher. It's generic. It's just, there's no mystery to it. You know it's Angela from the beginning. Nope, it's just, yeah. So, Angela's back 4 years after the events of the first film, I guess. So, she went from 14, so she's 18 now, I guess. And I guess they originally wanted Felissa Rose to come back. She even started reading. But I guess she didn't fit the role because she couldn't get the comedic lines right. Plus, she was on her way to college anyway, so they recast her with Pamela Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen's sister. And there's an interesting thing about the characters in this film. They're all named after 80s Brat Pack members. The characters' names are Molly, Sean, Allie, TC, Mare, Rob, Demi, Leah, Brooke, Jody, Anthony, Judd, Charlie, Emilio, Diane, and Matt. And there's even a character named Uncle John. Can you associate those? Well, there's Molly Ringwald, Sean Penn, Ali Sheedy, Tom Cruise, Mare Whittingham, Rob Lowe, Demi Moore, Leah Thompson, Brooke Shields, Jodie Foster, Anthony Michael Hall, Judd Nelson, Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, which is really weird because Renee Estevez plays Molly, and those are her brothers. So Diane Lane, and there's a character named Matt, and it sort of isn't said specifically, but the only Brat Pack member I could think of with Matt is Matt Dillon. Maybe he was around back then, I guess. Matt. I don't know. But yeah, those are all the names that I found on the IMDb trivia page. But Pamela Springsteen is obviously the best, honestly, the best in this film. She knows what movie she's in, and I'm glad that she was cast to play this role. She knows what movie she's in. This movie is super meta. There's a scene where there's two kids, with Anthony and Judd, are dressing up to scare Angela. They dress up like knockoff versions of Freddy and Jason. Complete with, blade hand and machete, which are real apparently, because Angela takes the blade hand, slits the guy's throat. But this is basically a generic slasher for the most part, because just kills. And why? Well, because Angela thinks these are bad teenagers, so she is killing them. And unlike the first one, they used like young adults to play the roles. And you can tell because one of the first shots after the credits is just one of the girls that wakes up, Allie. She's completely topless, and she's like walking around the girl's bunk topless for a good almost 5 minutes, where she's standing there. There's a part where she puts her shirt over, but you can still see them. And it's like, wow, they were aiming for something here, and they got it. Like, out of all of the actresses in this movie, I think you see her tits the most. And I think her tits are the only ones I think you see. She has like a sex scene, and she has thing in the beginning, and later she like flashes. There's another one that flashes too. Actually, now I think about it, she has two sex scenes. One where she's like with this guy in the bathroom, and you see her like open him up, take him out, and then later they have sex in the woods, and she's like naked and stuff. But I don't know. The kills in this one are, there's some interesting ways. She kills people that there's a drill, and I think the best one is the when she kills Allie in the toilet. It's in the abandoned bunk. She kills her in the toilet, and she dunks her in the thing. There's leeches and shit. It's nasty. And you see more of the kills here than you do, because she stabs Allie in the back first. And there's one kill that actually is kind of funny at the beginning, because so the whole thing with her is that she is killing these kids and then telling them that she sent them home. So one of the kids finally decides to call and ask for some of the kids, and she calls like 2-3 different kids' house, and they all say that they're still at camp. So she starts to get kind of iffy about it. So Angela decides, well, I gotta kill this chick. And so the whole scene is that the one girl keeps going on and on and on about talking about what happened, and Angela's going around trying to find the right weapon to use, and it's kind of funny. She just using her guitar string. I don't know how strong guitar string, maybe you can choke someone with it. And then another student walks in, so I didn't do anything wrong, which is true, but you'll tell. So yes, she's dead. But yeah, the gore is okay. It's nothing spectacular. It's not Tom Savini like in Friday the 13th, but it's okay. Like, the throat slit is kind of generic, but it's fine. There's one kill that is kind of confusing. There's actually two of them, because like the first kill of this, she hits the person with like a tree branch piece of wood, and that character's dead, I guess. And then when TC tries to look for her towards the end here, he walks in and sees Sean and Molly tied up, and Angela throws battery acid on his face, and nothing else happens to him, but we're led to believe that the battery acid killed him. I would disfigure him, but I wouldn't think he'd be dead. But I guess he's dead. And then she cuts Sean's head off. It's not a very good effect. But I do like the line. She's like, oh, Sean's not a good person. He's always talking back. Speaking of which, look who's on TV. And the camera pans over, and literally his head's in a broken TV set. It's kind of funny. But yeah, and like she just goes to town, killing these people towards the end. She's had enough. Walter Gotell, that name is recognizable to you, that's because you're a James Bond fan. He played General Gogol in the early James Bond movies, leader of the KGB there. So it's nice to see him. He plays Uncle John, which I don't think I mentioned. Uncle John, John Hughes, where that name comes from. And at first I was confused, because she's like, don't let me have to tell Uncle John. And I'm like, Uncle John? You hadn't, what? Is it your uncle? You only lived with your aunt. As far as I know, she didn't have a husband, and if she somehow still had a husband, that guy is not right in the brain. No, it's just a name. Everyone calls him Uncle John. I don't know why. They just do. What really confused me, and why I didn't try to watch the third one after the first time I watched it, is the ending. And it's still kind of a frustrating ending to me. Angela thinks that Molly is dead because she slipped and fell on some rocks. So she goes to leave, and she's get right from this country woman who's smoking and cussing. Angela has enough, kills her, and then you see Molly wake up and she starts running. She runs towards the truck, and it's Angela. He goes, "Hi, partner," and the camera like goes into Molly's face, and the movie ends there. So is Molly dead? What happened? I don't know what we're supposed to think about that. That's just like they filmed this one and the third one back to back, so they had already planned for a third one. So I don't think they wanted to do the almost kill off Angela and have her show up, which you could have done. They're like, no, because we're gonna do a third one. We don't need to leave that up, so let's just leave it open ended. And I think you can assume she's dead because Molly's dead because she's not in the third one. I think. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. But then like Angela. Okay, here's the thing. So they tell the story of what happened in the first one at the beginning, and they're like, oh, it's this kid. He dressed up as his sister or whatever, and killed all these kids. And then later in the film, it's like, I don't remember the name that he went by, but his real name was Peter Baker. That was his real name, but doesn't remember the name he went by until the end when he's like, Angela, you're the angel of death. You're Angela Baker. I'm Angela Johnson now. And the doctor said I was cured. Well, the doctors are full of shit because you ain't cured. I'm cured now. You just killed a bunch of fucking people. You're standing in a cabin full of dead bodies. You ain't cured. Okay, there ain't no cure for you right now. No, nope, no cure. But yeah, this was fine. Middle of the road. Definitely middle of the road. Nothing to write home about. Definitely not as good as the first one. I think I did it far enough. I didn't give it. I would actually. I give it a pretty good. The original one, a pretty good. I was gonna say To the Moon, but like the only really, really good thing is the ending. Like, well, also you know what? I will give the original Sleepaway Camp a To the Moon because there's some funny stuff. Like I actually watched the first one with the commentary on it, and it was kind of fun. I do like the line in the first one though, where he's like, "Eat shit and die, Ricky. Eat shit and live, Bill." I love that line. Eat shit and die, Ricky. Eat shit and live, Bill. I don't know why I love that line so much, but I do. So yeah, I'll give that one a To the Moon. This one, middle of the road. No, you know what? I change my mind. The original is a To the Moon. This one I'll give it pretty good because I actually kind of enjoyed myself. You know, any movie with tits can't be that bad, right? I kind of enjoyed myself with it. I don't know if I'll be sad to say about the third one, but we'll see because that's the next one I'm gonna do. And after that, we're still gonna stay in the 80s for the next two or three. I'll have decided by the next one. I know there's at least 2 more in the 80s that I want to do afterwards, but I don't know if there's another one in my list, but we shall see. Till then, what are your thoughts on Sleepaway Camp 2? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.